Hello everyone and welcome to the FRC Historian. Today I'm going to be talking about the three upsets that happened in 2019 so far. Obviously, as you know, week one is a week where there are very few upsets. And because of that, there have only been three so far, and I would not categorize this game as weak on defense, just because only three competitions have been won by an alliance other than the first. For 16 competitions, the first alliance took gold, whereas in two, the second, and in one, the third alliance won. Now let's look at those three, and one in close detail, and I'll let you know what I think about them. Let's start with the first in Texas event. The first in Texas Austin event, where Team 6377 was rank 1 and picked 4610, and actually got upset by the fifth alliance of 3005, 2714, and 2158. Now the upsets don't end there, because the second alliance, 2468, 2468, who do we appreciate, 624 and 3834, went on to win against the fifth alliance, becoming the first rank 2 team to win an event. Now, for those of you who did not watch the Richmond, Virginia event, the first alliance actually had to call in a backup bot, and won with the assistance of 346, 1262, 539, who died in the first quarterfinals match, and then 6882 helped to win them that championship. Now, we're going to move on to the FMA District Hatboro Horsham event, where the third alliance of 4454, 5684, and 5401 took gold over the first alliance of 2539, 1807, and 2559. Now, I'm going to get into the crux of this issue, the one that I looked at the most, not being the Israel District Week 1 event, other than this district premiering in our time around 10 a.m. with the elims matches ending up. What I saw was that the second alliance took gold, but it really struck a note with me, because one of the things that I did a lot in 2018 was I did a lot of strategy. So when 2019 started, I'd start looking at teams by their history, see how good they are by how they've done in the past. Now for this one, there were two teams who were phenomenal, who got matched up together, who thought they were going to win it all, but in the end did not. So let's look at it. Team 6090, Orbit. So for any of you who do not know, they won a district or two in the past 2 years, but 2016 was their year. That was the year where OP and Tesla picked them as their first pick, and they went on to win their division, win the quarterfinals and semifinals on Einstein Field, and then go on to become Einstein finalists in one of the closest Einstein matchups with the closest Einstein matchup in FRC history, and only losing by a penalty, and they became the first Israeli team to make it onto the Einstein Field, and because 3075 only played one match, the only team to ever play in Einstein finals, and even win an Einstein finals match. They picked 1577 team Steampunk. Despite the name, their best year was Power Up. In Steampunk, they did win a banner and a finalist. However, Power Up was their game where they won both their districts and the district championship, going semifinals on Carver. So both teams with extraordinary history up against the second alliance of 4338 and 1574. For those of you who do not know, 4338, I think this was their second ever banner. They had a few terminalist years with a few finalists here and there, but they picked the assistance of 1574. For those of you who did not know 1574, in 2018, 1574 and 1577 for that matter, went on to win an event together and the district championship in 2018. So when 4338 saw that 1574 had the chance of winning an event with them, they decided to pick them, and they went on to win that event with them. Now, one of the things that I saw fascinating about this event was that the finals actually didn't go to 3 matches. It was only 2. It was over in 2, where the score was 72-63 and then 76-62, whereas Team Misgard 1574 and 4338 did upset them. And if you watched any of the matches up until it, although the fifth alliance did upset the fourth, there was mostly a clean sweep all the way there, where the second alliance actually had the highest scores of all of them. Quarters 3 match 2 wasn't exactly the best indication, as the first ever match in elims was a tie with the seventh alliance, and they scored 57-58, In the semis, they scored 71 and 65, and then they actually made their high scores in the finals, despite the First Alliance playing a pretty good game. And the First Alliance actually didn't score that high with wins of 42 and 61 and 53 and 69. They hadn't broken 70. Only the Second Alliance had. And when the Second Alliance went on to the finals, they went on to win it. So my biggest takeaway from this specific upset is that we can't just look at a team's history as an indication of how well they'll do, because 1574 had the highest stats across the board if you looked at them from scouting. So this is one of the biggest things that I love about a new game. It's the upsets. It's a team who maybe did not do as well in previous years, stepping up to the plate and doing extraordinarily well. So I'm looking forward to see more cases like this. Thank you for listening, and this is FRC Deep Space.